3 days after Kwon Jae-hyun was declared dead, his family gathered to bury him and learned that he had secretly married Naomi Bennett. His will placed temporary control of his empire in her hands. If no successful challenge removed her within 30 days, that control would become permanent. Naomi survived her first council meeting and stopped the Beck family from taking one of the Kwon terminals. But that night, she found 3 disturbing clues inside Jae-hyun's private study. His signet ring was missing. His watch had recorded a heartbeat 6 hours after his reported death, and his damaged phone carried one warning. Do not trust my brother. Far from the Kwon estate, behind the locked door of a private medical room, he lay hidden in shadow. His lips parted, and one name escaped him.
Naomi. You keep looking at me as though I am the man who took my brother from you. Perhaps you should. But suspicion will not stop the Becks from tearing this family apart. You have 27 days left before Jae-hyun's authority becomes yours permanently, and every family surrounding us knows it. They will not wait for you to become stronger. They will attack while the Kwons still see you as an outsider. So I am giving you one way to end that weakness tonight. Marry me. The family will accept you. The council will obey you, and no rival house will dare challenge the Kwon name again. Refuse me, Naomi? There may be nothing left for either of us to inherit.
By morning, Naomi had not slept. Jae-hyun's damaged phone was locked inside the safe in his study, but the warning it carried had followed her out of the room. Do not trust my brother. At 8 o'clock, Tae-min was waiting inside the breakfast room. He had not slept either. A black file rested on the table. Beside it were 2 cups of coffee.
I was told you take it without sugar.
Who told you?
My brother.
For 14 months, Jae-hyun had hidden their marriage from his family. He had never told Tae-min that Naomi was his wife. But somewhere inside that secrecy, he had spoken of her often enough for his younger brother to remember how she drank her coffee. Naomi took the file. She left the cup where it was. The Kwon security seal across the cover identified it as the internal report on the warehouse explosion. It had been completed less than 12 hours after Jae-hyun was declared dead. It should have been among the documents Sung-ho gave her after the will reading. It had not been. The council intended to keep this from you, Tae-min said. I removed the only remaining physical copy from the archive.
Why did you do that?
You needed the report.
Without authorization? I prefer to think of it as correcting an omission. You broke into your own security archive. The conclusion appeared on the first page. Accidental ignition caused by a damaged fuel line. The language surrounding it was cautious. The conclusion itself was not. Within 12 hours, investigators had determined that no external device had been found, and no unauthorized person had entered the warehouse. Their certainty was difficult to reconcile with the missing security footage. The report contained 43 numbered pages. Only 42 remained. Page 17 had been cut cleanly from the binding.
What was on this page? Who had access to the report before you?
Sung-ho, my mother, the head of security, 3 senior council members. If you are going to accuse me, do it directly.
I haven't accused you of anything.
I haven't accused you of anything. You have looked at me as though you wanted to since the funeral. Your brother was declared dead, and within 3 days you challenged the authority he left behind. What expression would you prefer? For one moment he looked wounded rather than angry. Then it was gone.
I wanted Jae-hyun's respect, not his chair.
Those desires are not always as different as men like you pretend.
He was raised as the unquestioned heir. I grew up as the son whose existence required an explanation.
That does not make you responsible for what happened to him. But you still don't trust me.
I don't trust anyone who tells me I should.
Tae-min almost smiled. Then the door opened and Sung-ho entered. The legal advisor slowed when he saw the restricted report in Naomi's hands. His composure slipped for less than a second. Naomi saw it.
That report was preliminary.
Sung-ho said. Then why was it withheld from me? The digital archive was damaged during a security system reset the morning after the explosion.
So the reset erased the original footage, the digital copy of this report, and the audit trail showing who had handled it.
How convenient. The Beck delegation will arrive in less than 2 hours. The terminal dispute must remain our immediate priority.
The death of the man who owned those terminals remains my immediate priority.
Naomi handed the report to Tae-min, not to Sung-ho. Make a copy, keep the original where no one else can reach it, and request a restoration of the corporate email backups. If page 17 was ever attached to a message, the warehouse reset may not have erased it. I will arrange the necessary authorization. You will arrange access. Tae-min will supervise the restoration. Neither man objected. Naomi did not trust Tae-min with the restoration. She trusted the audit trail she had ordered around him. If he interfered, or if another document disappeared, this time there would be a record. By 9:30, Naomi was inside Jae-hyun's former office at Kwon Group headquarters. The room still carried traces of him. A dark jacket behind the door. His fountain pen beside a closed notebook. A cup he had used before leaving for the warehouse, untouched since the night he disappeared. She did not look at it for long. She uploaded the watch data to an independent digital forensics company she had used during a European shipping dispute. She identified the owner only as Subject K. Verify whether the biometric readings were genuine. Determine whether the data had been altered. Recover whatever location information remained. The technician warned that a complete review could take several hours. You have until 1. At 10:15, the Beck delegation entered the council chamber. Baek Min-jun arrived at the center of the group. He was younger than Naomi expected, perhaps 35, with a calm face and the polished confidence of a man accustomed to being underestimated. His father controlled the Beck family's shipping interests. Min-jun controlled the people who protected them. Mrs. Kwon, my condolences.
You sent your people into one of my terminals during the funeral.
My condolences do not make me careless. The Bakes claimed that Jae-hyun's reported death had activated an emergency management clause allowing them to intervene whenever Kwon Group lacked recognized executive authority. The group does not lack one. You have temporary authority. I have legally enforceable authority. Recognized by a document your own family disputes. The governing charter does not require family approval. It requires an acting executive recognized through a valid succession directive. Naomi placed a certified copy of Jae-hyun's directive in front of him. That requirement has been satisfied. Min-jun barely looked at it.
Then perhaps we should discuss whether the directive survives a criminal investigation.
No criminal inquiry had been announced publicly. What criminal investigation? The one that may ask how a damaged fuel line, erased security footage, and the sudden appearance of an unknown wife resulted in assets worth billions changing hands. He knew details he should not have known. Tae-min started to rise. Naomi lifted one hand. He remained seated. Min-jun noticed that he had obeyed her. So did everyone else. I have emergency injunctions and asset preservation applications prepared in London, Singapore, and Rotterdam. If your people remain inside Kwon property, I will file against every Beck company financing this interference. The Bakes had expected a grieving widow who would spend the meeting defending her marriage. They had found an international lawyer who knew exactly which parts of their legitimate business were vulnerable to an international court dispute. How much time are you asking for? 48 hours. And after that? Neutral counsel will have reviewed the clause.
These are my terms. You will withdraw all your claims immediately, and we will not negotiate.
He had not entered the chamber expecting to win the terminal that morning. He had entered to measure her, to discover what Jae-hyun had told her, what she had found, and how quickly she could be frightened. Naomi gave him nothing. After several seconds, Min-jun agreed to withdraw his personnel while the clause was reviewed. The immediate dispute was contained. But as the delegation moved towards the door, Min-jun stopped beside Naomi's chair.
I hope you found what you were looking for in your husband's study last night.
I hope you found what you were looking for in your husband's study last night. The chamber door closed behind him.
You were in Jae-hyun's study?
Naomi looked from Sung-ho to Madame Kwon Mi-suk, then to the head of security standing near the wall. Every person in the room appeared surprised. One of them was pretending. Naomi did not leave the chamber. The first call reached the communications office before the Beck delegation had cleared the building. By 11, 3 international clients had requested written confirmation that Kwon Group remained solvent, a sole lender had suspended approval on a short-term credit line, and 2 news outlets were asking whether Naomi's authority was being examined as part of a criminal inquiry. The wording was different every time. The source behind it was not. Min-yoon had surrendered the terminal and attacked the company instead. Madame Kwon Mi-suk reached the chamber first.
Deny it. Publicly, before the market closes.
Deny what?
The investigation.
There is no investigation.
There is no investigation, Naomi said. If I deny one that does not exist, I have announced it to every newspaper in Seoul. Sung-ho set a printed summary on the table. Then say nothing, Mrs. Kwon.
We do not yet know what the Beckics are holding.
Naomi did not look at him. Silence is agreement. By tomorrow, the rumor becomes a fact no one bothers to check.
So you intend to do nothing at all?
I intend to do neither of the things you have suggested.
The communications director entered with a tablet held against his chest.
The logistics subsidiary has started falling.
Send every lender proof that our international obligations are funded. Have outside counsel confirm the succession directive to them directly, not through this office.
Not through this office. Move the afternoon's cargo payments into accounts the Bakes cannot reach. And a statement?
And a statement?
1 paragraph. Kwon Group remains under valid executive authority. All existing agreements will be honored.
We do not comment on rumors created by organizations attempting to interfere with our operations.
That denies nothing.
It denies nothing that can be disproved later. That is the point.
Tae-min watched her take control of the crisis without raising her voice. Then he quietly contacted 2 senior clients who had known Jae-hyun for years. He did not ask them to trust Naomi. He reminded them that abandoning Kwon Group during a succession dispute would tell every rival family that they could be frightened away from any future agreement. Both clients withdrew their requests within minutes. Naomi learned what Tae-min had done from the finance director, not from Tae-min. At 12:45, the digital forensics technician called. The biometric data is genuine, the technician said. It was not manually inserted or copied from an earlier recording.
The cardiac activity?
Real. The watch was detecting a living pulse during the period shown in the file. 6 hours after Jae-hyun had been declared dead. And the location? Most of it was deliberately overwritten, not corrupted by impact or water damage. Someone accessed the device after the final biometric reading and removed the location history. Can you recover it? Not from the watch alone. The watch had not malfunctioned. It had not invented the pulse. And someone had deliberately erased the place where that pulse had been recorded.
Send me a signed report. No reference to the owner's identity.
The evidence did not prove that Jae-hyun was alive. It proved only that his watch had recorded a genuine human pulse 6 hours after he was declared dead. Whether the watch had still been on his wrist was something the data could not answer. Someone had handled it after the final reading. Someone had erased its location. And someone had returned it to the Kwon family expecting no one to question the timeline. At 1:30, Naomi met Madame Seo inside a private room at an old tea house near the river. She had changed the location twice and told no member of the Kwon household where she was going.
The Bakes contacted one of my people this morning.
Madame Seo said. They wanted to know why I visited you after the funeral. Someone told them. Someone close to the Kwon family has been selling information for months. The leak had begun before Jae-hyun's disappearance. shipping routes, security rotations, internal disputes. Nothing large enough to expose the source. Everything useful enough to weaken him,
I warned him.
Madame Co said.
He told me he was handling it.
Then she placed an old gray folder on the table. Daniel Bennett's name appeared across the cover. Inside were copies of company registrations, offshore transfers, and shipping insurance claims dating back almost 15 years. Several businesses were connected to the Kwons. Others led to the Bakes. One name appeared again and again: Mireille Recovery Holdings.
What is this company?
A shell.
For whom?
That was the question your father was trying to answer. 15 years ago, my signature appeared on shipping manifests I had never seen.
Stolen cargo, 4 counts. I was 3 weeks from a prison sentence.
Your father proved the signature was forged. He found where the claims were being paid, and he followed the money out of the country
Until it stopped at Mireille Recovery Holdings. And then he could go no further. Whoever owns Mireille has never once appeared on a document.
Your father once told me that numbers were only useful when they protected the people hidden behind them.
Naomi had heard Daniel say those words. No one outside their home should have known them. Madame Co then revealed that Jae-hyun had requested Daniel's files 6 months earlier.
He believed the old investigation was connected to the leak inside the Kwon organization and to a series of emergency recovery companies
that appeared whenever Kwon assets were damaged. Jae-hyun had reopened an investigation involving Naomi's father and hidden it from her. Jae-hyun had loved her. Love had not made him honest.
Why did neither of you tell me?
He made me promise not to involve you.
He is dead.
Then why are you still searching?
Naomi considered telling her about the watch. She considered revealing the warning on Jae-hyun's phone. Instead, she closed the folder and put it in her bag.
If you discover who controls Mirai, contact me directly.
You don't trust me either.
No.
Good. Trust is what killed most of the men who sat in Jae-hyun's chair.
Naomi returned to Kwon Group shortly after 3. Madame Kwon Misuk was waiting in the council chamber with 3 of the senior elders.
Sit down. This will not take long.
Sit down. This will not take long. Naomi remained standing.
The council has a legal instruction it cannot ignore. It also has a family that does not recognize you.
Those are not the same problem, and only one of them can be solved with a document.
Say what you came to say.
Marry Tae-min. He controls 2 votes on the security committee. 3 of the men in this room still consider him my stepson's
natural successor. Married, you would hold both the law and the family. Refuse, and you hold paper. And Tae-min moves within reach of a chair he was never given.
He is Kwon. So was the man who chose me instead.
You were married in a room with 2 witnesses. No ceremony, no announcement, no alliance to any family in this country.
No child. The elders did not look up.
My stepson gave you a signature. He did not give you a place. Only this family can do that.
And this family is offering it once.
When someone brings me a marriage, the way they would bring a board resolution, I do not answer it in the same meeting.
She left before anyone could reply. Naomi did not go back to her own office. Jae-hyun's door was still unlocked. Nothing inside it had been moved since the morning. His jacket hung where he had left it. She had bought it in London 2 winters ago. He had complained about the buttons for a week and worn it almost every day since. She opened the notebook. There was no confession inside it, no hidden page, only his handwriting, a shipping date, a name she did not recognize, a reminder to call someone at 8. Ordinary things, written by a man who expected to come back and finish them. The cup was still there. It was the only thing in that room she could put right. She set it back down without washing it. Madame Kwon had said he gave her a signature and no place. Naomi looked at the room he had registered her fingerprint to months before he died, and understood that the woman had never been in it. The Bake's attack on the company's credibility had exposed an immediate weakness. 3 high-value export consignments were scheduled to leave before midnight, but journalists and Bake observers were now waiting outside the main terminal. while nervous lenders monitored every sign that Kwon Group could no longer operate normally. Delaying the cargo would strengthen the rumors. Sending it through the original route would let the Bakes track every movement. Naomi authorized a protected transfer through the Riverside distribution corridor. It would be her first private operation as acting head. The cargo would leave 3 secured Kwon storage facilities in separate vehicles, converge outside the city, and enter the Riverside facility through a route the Bakes had never previously monitored. Most personnel received only the portion necessary to complete their assignment. The drivers were not told the final destination until shortly before departure. One visible security division would redeploy towards the western route as a decoy. The movement would draw outside surveillance away from the eastern corridor, leaving a 7-minute window for the vehicles to pass without attracting attention. Only one restricted file contained the complete route, the precise departure time, and the security rotation. Apart from Naomi, only 5 senior officials were authorized to open it. She approved the plan at 4:20 and instructed the security system to record every opening of the file. She told herself it was standard procedure. But Jae-hyun's warning remained inside her head. "Do not trust my brother." Naomi asked Sung-ho to remain after the operations director left. She waited until the door closed.
You authorized the security reset.
I did.
The morning after the explosion.
Yes.
Why?
Because a Kwon property had been destroyed, and I did not know whether our systems had been entered before it happened. If they had been, every rebuilt file would have carried the intrusion forward. So I ordered the system rebuilt from a clean state. It is what I would advise any client to do. And it is what I advised your husband to do 2 years ago, when a terminal was breached in Busan.
It erased the footage.
It did.
And the report. And the record of who had handled it.
Yes.
You do not sound as though that troubles you.
It troubles me a great deal, Mrs. Kwon. It does not make it the wrong decision.
You witnessed my wedding.
I did.
For 14 months, you sat in this building with his family and said nothing.
I was instructed not to.
Did you never think it was cruel? Naomi let the silence hold. He did not fill it. Every question she had asked, he had answered without hesitation, without offense, and without a single moment of surprise. She had spent 9 years watching people answer questions. Men who had nothing to hide were usually surprised. At 5:30, the restoration team finished. 4,000 recovered messages. 11 referred to the warehouse report. None of them carried page 17. Naomi read the audit log twice. Every file opened during the recovery had been opened by the technicians. Tae-min had supervised the entire process without touching a single document. She closed the log without deciding what that proved. Far from Seoul, in a room with the curtains drawn, the monitor kept its slow and steady rhythm. He had not moved since morning. The door opened. A figure crossed to the bed, checked the reading on the screen, and adjusted the line running into his arm. For a moment, the figure stood still, watching his face. Then they turned and walked out. The lock engaged from the outside. That evening, as the first vehicles assigned to the Riverside operation prepared to leave their storage facilities, Tae-min asked Naomi to meet him alone in the council chamber. Rain blurred the city beyond the windows. Jae-hyun's principal chair stood between them like a witness. Tae-min placed a folder on the table. Naomi did not touch it.
My mother should never have approached you in front of the elders.
But you knew she would.
I knew they were becoming desperate.
And now?
Now I am asking you myself.
She already knew what the folder contained. Political terms, committee votes, promises of protection, written in language cold enough to resemble a merger agreement.
Marry me.
Marry me. Naomi did not answer immediately. She looked at the man standing before her, the younger brother of the husband she had buried, and understood exactly what he was offering. It was not marriage. It was ownership disguised as protection.
You can support me without marrying me.
I can vote with you. I can persuade the elders when they are willing to listen. But without a formal alliance,
Every one of those things can be dismissed as temporary.
And marriage would make your loyalty permanent?
it would make our interests the same.
That is not the same as loyalty.
Tae-min did not deny it. Marriage would give him access to the authority he had expected to inherit, and bind his name to the woman Jae-hyun had chosen over the rest of the family. But his political support could also weaken Madame Kwon's resistance and discourage rival families waiting for the council to divide itself. The proposal offered each of them what the other controlled. That honesty made it more dangerous, not less.
You have 27 days. The Bakes will not wait for you to become stronger.
And neither will you.
I am offering you a way to survive.
No.
The answer was quiet, but it left no room for negotiation. For one brief moment, something almost wounded passed through his eyes. Then it disappeared beneath the same polished control he had worn since the funeral.
Pride will not protect you when the other families move against the Kwon Empire.
I would rather lose everything fighting than preserve it by becoming...
Your wife. You think refusing me proves that I cannot control you?
No. It proves you cannot use my fear to do it.
You may regret making an enemy of the only person who offered to stand beside you.
If your loyalty depends on me marrying you, it was never loyalty.
The words struck him. He looked at Naomi for several seconds, as though there were something else he wanted to say. Then he turned and left without another word. The door had barely closed when Naomi's secure tablet vibrated across the desk. An urgent alert had arrived from the Riverside operation. The Baek family had positioned personnel along the protected route at the exact hour Naomi had marked as safest in the private plan. They were waiting for the convoy before the first vehicle had even left its storage facility. They knew the route. They knew the timing. They even knew that Naomi had ordered the visible security division towards the western route as a decoy. The entire operation had been compromised before it began. The complete information had never been shared with the full council. It had existed only inside the restricted Riverside file. She opened the file's authorized access list. Apart from her own, 5 names appeared on the screen. Sung-ho, the operations director, 2 senior council members, and at the bottom of the access list was the man who had just asked her to become his wife. Tae-min.